Hello, amazing business owners. How are you today? Are you super excited about this series like I am? Are you diving into all things SEO? I can't wait to bring you part 2 of SEO Summer. And if you're like, Brooke, I just started listening, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's okay. Last week in episode 119, we started SEO Summer. We are going to break down SEO and make this super small and super actionable so that it is not this overwhelming monster of steps that it sometimes tends to be. If you want to kind of dive into this and grab all of my templates and resources that I have put together for this, go to boldwithbrooke.com/SEO and you can download it there. I am excited because we are going to talk all about keywords today. This is one of the top questions I get when it comes to SEO. When someone says, "Hey, Brooke, I want to work on my SEO. Where do I get started?" The first question I will ask is, what keywords do you want to rank for? And if you don't know the answer to that question, we can't do anything with your SEO. That is the first thing that needs to happen when it comes to starting to implement this marketing strategy that has served me for, 15 years. I never want to say that because, I'm not old. You're only as old as you feel, right? I want to walk you through how to choose your keywords. Where do you get ideas for keywords? How do you know if it's a good keyword? And there is a 10-step process to walk through to really kind of narrow this down, to get the top keywords that might help bring people into your business. If you are walking through this SEO stuff and you're like, Brooke, I need help. I want to encourage you to join us in Bold Marketing Academy. You can read more information at boldmarketingacademy.com. Not only do you get access to my courses, including SEO, email marketing, overall marketing, all the things, but you also get 2 coaching calls with me every month. And I know personally, because I have done this, sometimes you can learn all the steps and you can know what to do, but if you're not actually doing it, there's a reason. And that is a lot of what we talk about in coaching when it comes to marketing our businesses, because it brings up so many of our insecurities. Today, we're going to talk all about keywords, how to find them, what to do with them, where do I put them? Let's dive in. Hello there, gorgeous business owners. Welcome to Bold with Brooke, the podcast for creative business owners to learn the marketing and business skills they need to get more clients and design their lives on their terms so we can actually make a living doing what we love. Am I right? I am your host, Brooke Summer, and I'm an entrepreneur, educator, and champion of women, reminding them to embrace and step into their power. I'm bringing almost 20 years of business and marketing experience straight to you to help you get more clients and run a sustainable and successful business without burnout or overwhelm. Let's jump into today's topic. Hello, amazing business owners, entrepreneurs. I am so excited. We are in SEO Summer right now. This is a series for all of you that need a little bit of help, a little bit of background when it comes to what the heck is SEO, what do I do with this, and how do I get started? Again, if this is something that you really want to dive into, I do have a full course on this, which can be purchased by itself at SEO4photographers.com. Yes, it still applies, even if you're not a photographer. That's just the domain I bought for it a long time ago. I want to encourage you to go to my website and grab Brooke's SEO Starter Pack because it will gather all of these podcast episodes together, as well as it has some templates and some resources there, including kind of a little dictionary of terms you need to know with checklists and all the things at boldwithbrooke.com/SEO. Today, we are going to talk all about keywords. What do we choose? Why? Where do we put these things? What do these keywords even mean? If you are a little bit lost, or if you have a question that you want me to address in these episodes, head on over to boldwithbrooke.com/community, and that will take you over to our little cozy corner of Facebook where you can ask all the questions, and I will help you, and I will answer and walk you through things to the best of my ability in the limited time that we have in a group forum. Let's dive into keywords. One of the things that really messes with people and can delay working on your SEO is choosing your keywords. When people tell me they want to start working on their SEO, my first question, like right off the bat, when someone goes, Brooke, I need to work on SEO. Where do you think I should start? I'm always going to say, what are the keywords you want to rank for? don't overthink this. It is very, very easy to switch things up, change things around. You've changed your focus. That's okay. We can change that around too. Do not let this stop you from actually moving forward and working on SEO. When I get overwhelmed, for me personally, and I know that I'm not alone, my neurodivergence, especially my ADHD people, we tend to think about all the possibilities and go into, oh my gosh, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And then we do nothing. I call it overwhelm paralysis. And we are not going to let that be the case when it comes to choosing our keywords. This is not a source of procrastination. This is not a matter of perfectionism. We are going to just move forward because action creates clarity, and that momentum will help us out so much when it comes to SEO. Before we start going in depth on keywords, I'm going to repeat myself a little bit from something that we talked about in the last episode. We're going to talk about the overall function of search engines. Okay, they want to deliver you the best results, so that you can continue to come back to their search engine instead of one of their competitors. So what does that mean? Their number one focus in all of this is going to be relevance. How do they know that your site, that your page, whatever page you're trying to rank for or that they want to show in these search results, is going to actually have the information that someone is searching for? Because they want to make sure to give the best information to whoever is using the search engine. We want to take advantage of that. We want to take full advantage of that because when it comes to actually using these keywords effectively, we want to make sure that the content matches the keywords so that Google doesn't ding us and say, oh, you know what? That doesn't match at all. This isn't relevant. We don't want to show that anymore. When it comes to choosing keywords, I want you to be aware of what someone else might search for. Now, why does that matter? Because when you are in an industry, you will know certain terms and jargon that a standard user may not know. For instance, as a boudoir photographer myself, do you know how many people know how to spell boudoir? Probably just the boudoir photographers. Now, Google will help when someone's typing that out, but the reality is it's been called boudoir, it's been called boudoir, like so many different names. No one knows how to spell this. So think about that when you're creating these keywords. Do you want to rank for a specific term that may be difficult to spell, that maybe people don't know? Maybe they just know sexy images. Maybe they just know racy photos. Think about what someone else would search for. How the heck do you find these keywords? Well, much like some other things that we've worked on recently, like our content pillars in 118, we're going to do a brain dump. I want you to grab a piece of paper, get your colored pens. You know, I like all my different colors, some glitter, whatever you got to do. Sit down and just dump everything on a page. What do you think might be a keyword? What do you think someone might search for? And this is not the end all list, okay? We're just going to do a brain dump. I want you to put them all on a page. I also want you to, and this is something people push back on all the time, I want you to email your audience or your social platform, whatever marketing platform you use most, where you get the most reaction, the most response, the most feedback. I want you to ask, if you were searching for what I do, what would you type in to the search engine? This matters, and it will give you such a glimpse into what people are actually searching for. And when it comes to the people providing you feedback, if you are, for instance, a life coach, I don't want you to necessarily look at all the feedback that comes from other life coaches. Okay, if you are a life coach and you ask on Instagram, hey, I'm curious, kind of updating some things over here. What is it that you would type into a search engine to find what I do? Listen to the users, because the life coaches are also in your industry. They are going to know terms that a standard user may not know. Ask your audience. And I know people push back on this all the time. If you feel weird about that, then incentivize it. Say, hey, I'm going to give away a $25 Amazon gift card. And for every reply that I get, you will get a chance to win this gift card. If you feel like you need to incentivize it, please do. But I'm telling you right now, you don't have to. People like to think that their opinion matters. And when you ask for feedback, a lot of times they will give it to you. And we all know that even when you don't ask for feedback, people give it to you unsolicited. So ask your audience. And if you need to, you can incentivize them as well. You can also look at your competitors. What terms are they using in their marketing? Now, again, be careful with this because you might have a very different focus. Just because you provide the same service doesn't mean you're working with the same people. There are some people that might have a big political leaning in their branding and you don't. There are some people that might work with a very specific subset of people and you do not. There are some people that specialize in working with, let's just say, especially for boudoir photography, because that's what I know, maybe they specialize in working with men and another person doesn't work with men at all. So you can look to your competitors, but be careful about that and be specific. After you have done your brain dump, you have a list of all of the possible keywords and you've asked your audience and you've said, hey, what would you type into Google? I'm going to give you 3 tools that will help you start to look at the performance of these keywords so that you can decide, maybe this one is not a good fit, but I really, really like this one. It really applies to what I do, so that you can start to narrow this down. The first tool is Google Search Console. Google has had several iterations of different tools. Right now it's called Google Search Console. If you're listening to this in the future, it might change. Just search for Search Console and I'm sure that Google will bring up whatever they have that's brand new. Right now it's called Google Search Console. Once you have added your site and you have followed all of the instructions to do so, if you click on the left-hand side on performance, you can literally see the queries that people have typed into Google and when your site showed up and when someone clicked through to your site. This is crazy cool. You guys can see real-time information directly from Google. Number 2, SEO Moz, and that's spelled M like Mary, O like Oscar, Z like zebra. SEO Moz keyword tool. Now be careful with this one because you only have a limited number of queries. I believe it's 10 per month that you can search. But the good news is when you put one in, it's going to show you not only that one, but everything that's related to it. This is an amazing tool that can help you find keywords that are performing really well and other ones that maybe people are not using. Maybe you wrote something down in your brain dump that you really, really loved, but you see it only has like 2 searches every month and you're like, oh, maybe not. Maybe you only need 1 client every month. That's possible too. But this will give you an idea of what people are searching for and whether it's relevant to you. And it will also give other options that are somewhat close to what you typed in. Number 3, Uber Suggest. This is a really, really, really cool. You can type in a competitor's website to see exactly what they are ranking for and what keywords they're using to do so. Uber Suggest, it's spelled exactly like Uber with the car service. Uber Suggest is an amazing tool. They are limited though, as far as the queries that you can do every single month. Now this one is one that you have to have an account for. Now you can set up a free account. It's from Neil Patel, who is an amazing SEO guy. But once you have an account and you've logged in, on the left-hand side, you're going to see there's a whole category that says keyword research. It can give you ideas, visualization, and this is, of course, based on an account. So seeing the super detailed results might be limited unless you have a paid account. But this particular tool is an amazing tool, even on the free level. I just have a free account. I have not actually purchased an account from Uber Suggest, but it is an amazing tool. Neil has done an amazing job putting all of this data together. Those are 3 tools that you can use to start to narrow down that brain dump of all of the keywords that you wrote down. Start to narrow them down. I always tell people pick like between 4 to 6. Okay, we're not going to do a ton. Some people say 3 to 8. It depends on who you ask, but I want you to pick a few. We don't need a ton. We're just going to pick a few that we're really going to focus on. When you're looking at these keywords, there are 5 things that I want you to consider when you're deciding whether this is the keyword you want to use or not. Number 1, you need to consider search traffic potential. So this is where that SEO Moz and Uber Suggest will come in handy. Does this keyword have potential? Are people even searching for it? If they're not, maybe it's not a good fit. Number 2, search intent. Does the content that you create align with the intent of the searcher? This again goes back to kind of my boudoir photos versus family photos kind of thing. I am not going to try to rank for family photographer because I don't have any content on my website that has anything about family photography. Actually, I take that back. I might have a really old gallery, but I definitely do not keyword that. I do not optimize that for search engines at all. You want to make sure the content that you create, the content that's on your website, actually aligns with what that searcher is searching for, not just the keyword, but what someone is actually searching for. Number 3, business potential. Does this keyword apply to your business? Is this going to help you bring in business? I could keyword the heck out of my website for lingerie. I could be like, if you're searching for lingerie, because I have so much lingerie on my website. And yes, that does match the intent. Yes, that does match what someone is searching for because they're going to come to my site and see lingerie. But I don't make any money off of lingerie. My business is not in lingerie. I don't sell lingerie. Therefore, I would never want to keyword specifically for lingerie. I want to keyword for the people who are searching for what I do, not necessarily just the things that are on my website. Number 4, keyword difficulty. How competitive is that keyword? How difficult is it going to be to actually rank for it? Now, this can be very interesting when you're looking at a specific keyword. If you see that there are hundreds of thousands of searches for that, that means that it's a really competitive keyword. That is something that there's a ton of searches for. There might be a lot of people trying to get in on that keyword. So just be aware of that. Is that something that you really want to do? Or do you want to maybe go for number 5, long tail keywords? This keyword can be super specific, and this can help attract more qualified traffic. These long tail keywords are multi-word phrases that are more specific than just generic terms, and they're often used by consumers when searching for something specific. For instance, if you are a life coach, instead of wanting to rank for the keyword life coach, or maybe even life coach in Colorado, you might want to consider long tail. Life coach that works with female CEOs, life coach that works with dads who are struggling. Consider these long tail keywords that are more specific. They're usually 3 to 5 words long, and they can include super focused details as well. For instance, instead of just sweaters for sale, it could be purple cashmere sweater for work, or how to get the best sleep instead of sleep tips. These are long tail keywords, and these are articles that you can actually write that can rank really, really well pretty quickly because they're not as vague and as broad as something like sweaters for women or sleep tips. These can be super, super specific and help the people who really want to work with you specifically find you. We've done our brain dump. We have looked at different tools. We have looked at how to choose. We're going to talk about an overall process to choose your keywords, okay? These are 10 steps that I want you to take when it comes to choosing your keywords. First, you need to understand your audience. This goes back to episode number 1, intentionally made episode 1 because I knew that I would be referencing it consistently. Understand your audience. Who are you talking to? Who is your target audience? You need to know that in and out. And you also need to know what they're searching for. Remember how we talked about asking your audience? You want to know exactly what they're searching for. It might be different for everyone. Consider their demographics, their interests, their needs, their hopes, their fears, all of the things that might be influencing what they're typing into that search engine. Number 2, you to brainstorm potential keywords, which we already did this with our brain dump, okay, but we got to add it in to the process. Start with a list of words and phrases related to your business, product, or services, and then think about what your customers might type in to a search engine. Number 3, again, we already talked about this, but I'm going to add it into this process so that if you're just listening for the process, this is broken down for you. Use keyword research tools to look at these keywords and the potentials that you have so that you can see what they'll actually look like. These are things like Google Keyword Planner, Google Search Console, Ahrefs, SEMrush, SEO Moz, Ubersuggest, and these can all help you find popular and relevant keywords. And they can also give you data on things like search volume, competition, and related keywords. Like, is it really going to be difficult to compete when it comes to this keyword? Are there millions of sites already competing and already looking at that keyword? Should I look at something else? And it will help you really narrow it down. Number 4, analyze competitors. Look at the keywords that your competitors are looking at. What are they targeting? What are they using? This can give you insights onto which keywords might be worth targeting and help you find gaps that they're not working on. So for instance, if you know of someone who's your competitor, but they only work with fitness models and you want to work with everyday moms, you can use that to your advantage. Look at what your competitor is doing, but don't copy what they're doing if you want to have your own brand that is very specific and keywords that match that brand. Number 5, focus on long tail keywords. These long tail keywords, they're longer, they're more specific. They're phrases that usually have lower search volume, but higher conversion. So what does that mean? Let's just pick one randomly. Life coach. If I type in life coach into SEO Moz, I'm willing to bet that there are millions of searches for the word life coach. There are so many searches. People are typing that in constantly. But you're going to be competing against everyone else that is trying to get that keyword life coach ranked for their site, whereas the long tail keyword might mean that there's only 50 people searching for that every month. But if you can convert 10 of those 50, then you are good to go, because trying to convert 10 of millions can be a lot more difficult when it comes to looking at actual conversions and people that actually book with you. Number 6, evaluate the keyword metrics. Look at these metrics like volume. How many people are searching for this? How hard is it to rank for this keyword? And the cost per click if you are considering running paid ads. Now that cost per click is going to be quite a bit higher when it comes to more difficult keywords. Consider that, because Google is going to charge you more to put you in a higher ranking position for a keyword that is more popular. So that just kind of gives you an idea when you see that cost per click. You're like, what does that actually mean? And I'm not teaching ads here, so I'm not going to go too much into that, but that'll give you a little bit of an idea. Number 7, consider the search intent. Think about the person who is actually typing those words into the search engine. Understand the intent. Again, my example earlier of the lingerie versus the boudoir. Do I have lingerie on my site? Yes. Is it relevant? Yes. But is that what I want to capture someone's attention for? No. Are users looking for information? A specific product? Are they looking to make a purchase? Are they doing research? Why are they searching for this? Choose the keywords that match the intent of your target audience. Number 8, prioritize and organize these keywords. Group similar keywords into clusters and prioritize them based on relevance, search volume, and competition. You want to focus on a mix of short-term and long-term keywords. So for instance, the short-term keywords might be things that you can rank really quickly for because there's not as many competitors, whereas the long-term might take more time to actually rank for. And again, remember, SEO is a long-term strategy as it is. But there are certain search terms that you can rank pretty quickly on because there's just not a lot of information out there about that. Number 9, create high quality content. I feel like we talk about this a lot. We want to create content that naturally incorporates your chosen keywords. Make sure that it's valuable, that it is so juicy that when your ideal client reads it, not only is she going to want to read it, but she's going to share it with all of her friends as well because it is that good and that valuable. Make sure that this content answers the questions that your audience has. Make sure that you can answer exactly what they're searching for. Is someone searching for, I am not a skinny woman, can I do a boudoir shoot? I guarantee you my site is going to address that. And I want to make sure that whatever questions your people have, you are going to address in this content because that is valuable. And number 10, as usual for any strategy, monitor and adjust. We are going to look at the data and tweak it. Regularly track the performance of your keywords using tools like Google Analytics, Search Console. I love one called Pro Rank Tracker. I have worked with several of my students on that one, and you can adjust your strategy based on what's working and what's not. I want to kind of throw something in here. It's not necessarily part of the process, but I really want to encourage you to think outside the box when it comes to keywords. What do I mean by that? Consider that some of the larger keywords that you might want to rank for might be more competitive and might be more long-term when you can start looking at the smaller keywords. For instance, if you are in Los Angeles, and let's say you are a Los Angeles boudoir photographer, Los Angeles is a giant metropolitan area that has several smaller areas around it, right? Do you know what I mean? Like we have Santa Ana and we have Burbank and we have Long Beach and we have all of these other places that technically are not Los Angeles, but they're kind of included in that big area. Consider that you might be able to rank for Long Beach boudoir photographer long before you will ever rank for Los Angeles boudoir photographer. Think outside the box. Think about what other people are going to search for. If you have a mom in Burbank, California, searching for a boudoir photographer, her first search might be Burbank, California. You might be able to grab her quickly and get her to click through to your site because you were ranking specifically for Burbank boudoir photographer instead of Los Angeles boudoir photographer. Think outside the box. Not everything has to be so cut and dry. Another that has come up with some of my students lately is Phoenix. I know someone who wants to rank for personal branding in Phoenix. She specializes in personal branding photos in Phoenix. Now you can, again, try to rank for Phoenix headshot photographer. Or you can start to look at places like Gilbert or, I don't even know other Phoenix suburbs. But the point is that that's a much larger metropolitan area that has lots of little areas around it. There are even little areas, I know specifically in Denver, that are not necessarily cities, but they're areas. So for instance, Cherry Creek in Denver is not a city. You can't move to Cherry Creek, Colorado. It doesn't exist, but it's a very specific area that has a high-end mall. And so a lot of people will search for things specific to that. Think of things outside the box. Don't just use your city. Don't just use exactly what you do. Life coach. Consider life coach for female CEOs, life coach for dads who are struggling, life coach for new moms. Think of the people that you want to work with most and who wants to work with you. We've talked about how to find your keywords, things to consider. Next, I want to talk about where to put these keywords without stuffing. Now, what is stuffing? It's not just the weird soggy bread that people have on Thanksgiving. Y'all, I truly do not understand the appeal of stuffing, or some people call it dressing. I know everyone loves it. My family does too. I do not. To me, it's soggy bread. But that is not the type of stuffing that we are talking about here. We are talking about keyword stuffing, which means just throwing a ton of keywords on a website and hoping for the best. Y'all, that is a very 2005 approach. We are not keyword stuffing anymore. We are going to write valuable content that is specifically for humans, not for robots, right? I want you to raise your right hand and say, Brooke, I swear not to keyword stuff on my website. And if that's not enough of a push for you not to do it, I want you to consider that you could actually be blacklisted and you could have a ding on your Google quote unquote record when it comes to SEO results if you continue to do things like that. So be careful. Don't do shady things unless you want to be penalized. All right. So where are we going to put these keywords without stuffing? No stuffing. Right up my alley. I don't like stuffing. Number 1, put your target keyword or phrase at the beginning of the page title to make it more relevant and avoid it getting cut off on mobile. That's especially important when it comes to long tail keywords because our titles have limited space. We want to make sure that they're short and succinct. So use that target keyword, but don't make it super long. Number 2, meta descriptions. Use your primary keyword in the description in the metadata of your website. Now, one of the tools that we're going to talk about soon is called Yoast, like toast, but with a Y. And they help you with that description and they specifically ask you what to put in there and will grade you based on whether that keyword is in certain places. So this is a description. Yoast will help you put it in so you don't have to do it manually. You don't have to do any coding work. Put your keyword into this summary to help Google understand and filter the results. Number 3, meta title tags. So include your keywords in a natural way to help search engines and users understand the page. Number 4, the image alt text. Remember, we talked about alt text, alternative text for people who are vision impaired or if the image isn't coming up properly. This is the text that tells them what that image is about. And this can also include your keyword. Again, do not stuff this. I see people try to put 47 keywords into one image and it turns into a nightmare. This is a short description of an image that is used by search engines to identify the page's topic. When you do a Google image search, you know how you can type something in and it comes up? That's where this comes from. That alt text on that image is telling Google what to show in the image search results as well as the standard search results. These alt tags should be relevant, concise, unique, and have those keywords in there as well. And number 5 is your content. You are going to pick 3 to 8, 3 to 6, 4 to 6. Choose your keywords, but you want to include your keywords that are relevant throughout the article, including the title, headers, and first and last paragraphs. If a word doesn't fit naturally, use a version that makes sense or leave it out. I wanted to do a whole episode on this. I think it's going to be too long though, so let me know if this is something you're interested in. But I wanted to put a little nudge in here at the end about cornerstone content. This information goes well beyond our basic kind of overview that we're doing in the podcast episode, but cornerstone content is the core of your website. This contains the best and most important articles on your site, the pages and posts that you want to rank highest in the search engines. These articles are usually pretty long. They're long-form content for sure, and it combines insights from different places and covering everything that's important about a certain topic. This is where, if you've ever heard of roundup pages, these come into play here as well. Cornerstone articles are really important for SEO because it can be really hard to rank for certain keywords that are really popular, but a cornerstone can help you tackle those competitive search terms. But again, it is usually a collection of things. So this is not a one-time thing. This is a definitely much longer term strategy. Cornerstone content, again, we're not going to cover here, but it is in my SEO course. So if you have any questions and you're like, Brooke, I want to dive in, head on over to SEO4photographers.com. That is SEO number 4, photographers.com to access the course in its entirety immediately. If you need more help with this and you're like, Brooke, I'm hearing the information, I just need you to break it down for me a little bit more, I want to kind of nudge you to join Bold Marketing Academy, which has a special price right now just for SEO summer. And that is my online community where you not only get access to my courses, including the SEO course, but you also have 2 coaching calls with me every single month. So if you're walking through a course and you're like, I just don't know what to do, I'm terrified, this is not working, what do I do? I am happy to help you. I want to walk you through these things because I want to see you grow. I want to see your business skyrocket beyond what you have ever dreamed it could do. And Bold Marketing Academy is my community where I can really help people personally to go through all of these things, both SEO and just general coaching related as well. I think there's a lot of things that need to be addressed when it comes to marketing our businesses because it pulls up so many of our insecurities. And that is the place where we can really walk through them together. So what is your homework for this week? I want you to do the brain dump. I want you to do the process. Go through that 10-step process to choose your keywords. Do the brain dump. Walk through it. Ask your audience. And you know what? If you are doing that, I want you to come in the community at boldwithbrooke.com/community and tell me, guess what, Brooke? I asked my audience because so many people push back on this. And I can promise you, even if you don't get a response, what's the harm in asking? People want to think that their opinions matter. And when you ask for help, chances are someone's going to respond and at least give you a starting point. All right. So your homework is to go through the process to choose your keywords, do the brain dump, get your colored pens out, and start to narrow this down. If 3 to 8 or 4 to 6 is too much and you're like, I can't get it down that far, at least narrow it down to 10 and then come in the community and ask or come into Bold Marketing Academy, which you can view at boldmarketingacademy.com. Join us so that we can go through your keywords and say, oh, I don't know if I love that one. Maybe we should look at this one. I am so happy to help. I feel like I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm just recording all of these episodes one after the other because I love talking about this stuff. If you loved this and you're like, thank you so much, Brooke. How can I thank you? I would be so honored if you would head over to iTunes and leave a review. If you're like, how do I get there? Go to boldwithbrooke.com/iTunes. You can even pause right now. I'll wait because that is what allows us to bring in amazing podcast guests and keep producing this content to help more people. I want to help business owners grow their businesses beyond their wildest dreams. I am so happy to have been featured on Amazon, along with being one of the top 3% of podcasts on marketing in the world. And I'm so passionate about helping you move your own business forward. This podcast is free education. It's free and it will remain free. And all of those reviews are like a little bit of podcast currency. Thank you. And we so appreciate them. I would love to know some of your biggest aha moments, takeaways. Once you have your keywords, tell me. I want to high five you. I want to cheer you on. I have a little bell on my desk here. You're going to hear it. I can ring the bell for you. That is like a little high five. It's a little bit of someone nudging you saying, hey, you know what? I'm proud of you. And you can do that in the community at boldwithbrooke.com/community. It's a little cozy corner of Facebook, or you can take a screenshot and tag me on social. I read them all. Your business is just one way that you can impact people around you and move through the world. And it's time to step into that power and own it. Let's market your business, get you the clients you need to reach your goals. I can't wait to see what you do with your business and how you change the world, because what you do matters so much. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me today and listening in. You can find all of the show notes for this and every episode over at boldwithbrooke.com/podcast, where you can also find all of the links or resources mentioned. I can't wait to work with you. Have an amazing rest of your day.